What is going on, bro? Welcome to the video. So check it out. A couple days ago, I get this text from my mom with these old photos of myself. Well, it was actually from my dad, which is strange because normally my mom would send this type of thing. But it's these old photos. I'm not even sure I've seen these before, to be honest. First of all, let's take a look at these. Your boy had some real awful style back in the day. I don't know what's going on with those real long plaid cargo shorts. And look at that nose, man. Back then I had a real big nose. I used to be very self-conscious about that. Thank God that, I don't know if my nose got smaller, my face got bigger, but I don't worry about that so much anymore today. And whenever I see old photos of myself like this, it makes me realize like I'm a completely different man today than I was back then. And obviously, you know, 10 to 15 years has passed in between those photos and now. But just looking at those photos, you can tell like how awkward and uncomfortable I felt. I had zero confidence in myself back then. I thought I was the most boring person in the world. And that's why today I want to let y'all know 3 things that I do differently on a daily basis now versus back then. And these are all things you can steal and implement into your life today. Let's get started. So something people tell me a lot when they meet me, or sometimes they'll tell Julia, but then like it gets back to me. They're like, wow, David is such a quiet person versus what we see on the videos. Like, he doesn't talk all that much. But you gotta realize, man, when I'm filming these videos, if I didn't talk that much and I just sat here like waiting for you guys to talk, that'd be the most boring video ever, bro. But this is because I've implemented an 80-20 rule for myself when it comes to talking to new people, when I meet new people, right? You're gonna talk 80% of the time, I'm gonna talk about 20% of the time. And I do this for a couple of reasons. But first of all, because I was so socially awkward in the past, I'd always put all this pressure on myself. Like, I gotta be funny, I gotta be witty. If I'm talking to a new girl, I gotta be teasing her all the time. Then I'd go into this conversation with all this pressure. And what would happen? Well, I'd be overthinking everything, I'd be stuck in my head. And it would just be real awkward. So first of all, this takes all the pressure off of myself, but I've also realized that now I can have like unlimited conversations with anyone because I've gotten good at asking questions. You know, the key to asking good questions is to ask questions that require a longer response. Not just like, oh, where are you from? What do you do? But let's say you're talking to 2 girls you just met. They told you they met back in college, being like, oh, okay, so what was she like back in college? You use what, why, how, things like that. Now they have to tell this whole story. Or maybe someone's telling you that they're thinking about breaking up with their boyfriend or girlfriend, or they're thinking about quitting their job. Well, then I would ask like, oh, okay, why? Like, why are you thinking about doing that? What's making you do that? Again, that's gonna require a longer answer, and it's gonna make that conversation a lot more interesting than the average conversation that person's used to having. Plus, think about this for a second. Who is the most boring person you know? I can think about that. I can think of a few people. My old self being one of those people. And what's usually the common thread? For me, I hate talking to someone when all they do is they just talk so much. They're talking about themselves, their anxiety. They're talking about what they think about things. But then I'm always like, okay, like how do I get out of this conversation? How does it get awkward? How do I get out of this conversation? You very rarely get sick of talking to people who don't talk that much. And this is why. The OG self-improvement book of all time, Think and Grow Rich, was that by Napoleon Hill, Dale Carnegie? I forget who that was by, but one of the main 13 rules is that people find you interesting not because you're interesting and you're witty and you're funny. They find you interesting because of how they feel when they talk to you. If someone feels good when they talk to you, they're really gonna like talking to you. And guess what makes people feel better than anything? Talking about themselves. So by following this 80-20 rule and just keeping people talking about themselves, first of all, it makes dates easy, but also it makes people want to talk to you more. This is what made me realize that being introverted, I'm super introverted, it's actually kind of like a social superpower. You just got to learn how to harness that power right. Gains, bruh. Workout complete.
Oh, you don't want to show your post-workout gains?
There's the gains right here, baby.
No, you're like, don't want to be shirtless?
This lighting is not, this isn't good, this isn't good shirtless lighting.
Blame it on the lighting, huh?
I'll be honest, I haven't manscaped yet this week. I'm a little, it's not good down there.
Well, thank God Manscaped is the sponsor of today's video.
Look, bro, Christmas came early this year with the Manscaped Performance packages for all of your grooming needs, of course, featuring the one and only Lawnmower 4.0, skin-safe technology to get you a close trim on your chest and abs to expose maximum muscle definition without risking any cuts or ingrown hairs, and it's also safe to use down below the belt. You're also going to get their anti-chafing ball deodorant, and one of my favorites, the Weed Whacker, which is the perfect tool for getting rid of those disgusting nose hairs and ear hairs. Not to mention their Shears 2.0 luxury stainless steel nail kit. Nobody likes those disgusting nails, bro. And if you use my coupon code, they're gonna hook you up with 20% off plus free shipping internationally. They're even gonna throw in 2 free gifts, their boxer briefs and this travel bag. First link in description to upgrade your grooming game now. This is also a great holiday gift for any man you know. First link in description. Now, I know y'all are used to How to Beast also being How to Feast with the mouthwatering eats.
Ooh.
Boring people say the most. I prefer to say the least. You can catch me on YouTube. I'm not going to be on Twitter with the tweets. Don't give me a round of applause. Sit down and eat your C's. Ooh, I got to cool myself off. Another freestyle might be coming soon. But the point is, we're not How to Feast today because the Whole Foods bar did not go hard today. It's just like some broccoli and rice and spinach. So last week, me and Julie were filming a video. We got started, we filmed the intro, we got to like the first talking point, and Julia was like, I have to go. I told my friend I was gonna give her a ride because she's got to do this like hospital thing where she can't drive after. And I was like, if we don't finish filming this now, we're gonna have to refilm it. She's like, yeah, but I told my friend I have to go. Like, I have to go. And my initial instinct was like, and I was saying this, I was like, well, the video's fucked. The video's fucked. This is now we have to wait 3 hours to get the video started. This is the video me and Julie were talking about things women don't want men to know. So I needed her to film the video. And I was like, we're fucked. This day is fucked. And what happens when some shit like this happens? You don't have control over. You start to lose it, right? Maybe, you know, when I first got the Tesla, at one point I spilled the whole coffee in here. And I had a shitty day after that. You guys remember I was parking the Tesla in the garage at our old Houston place, and I hit the garage and ruins the Tesla bumper. And y'all know how that went. I threw my elbow through the garage wall, and the whole day was messed up. And sometimes when I'm filming, something like this happens that, you know, the camera is corrupted or they crashed the drone, and I get pissed for a whole day. This is actually a recent technique that I implemented in my life because honestly, as I've, you know, grown more successful and gotten further along my journey, it feels like there's more pressure on everything, because if I lose a day filming, well, then that means like that maybe was supposed to be a day we're supposed to design the next Edge collection the next day, and everything gets pushed back. So what I'm doing is, in these moments, I'm catching myself taking a breath, and I literally visualize myself leaving my body and looking at myself and saying, it's all good, baby. We got this. It's all good. You don't have to freak out about this. Like, we're going to figure this shit out. And I've realized the key is I have to do this as soon as I'm about to lose my shit. Like, maybe I'm starting to lose my shit. When I was with Julia, I took a breath. She was about to get really pissed at me because I was going to prevent her from keeping her commitment to her friend. And we were about to have a fight about it, right? And I was like, you know what? It's okay. Julie, it's okay. Don't even worry about it. We're going to figure this out. It's not a big deal. And I hadn't really figured it out in my head yet, but I was just saying it to start convincing myself of that. And guess what? Yeah, it was a late night of filming. It was not ideal, but I was able to use the downtime productively to get back to emails because I kept my cool. And even though it was a long day of filming, like, we still enjoyed it. And I've realized this improves my entire life because a lot of times in these moments, I'll lose a day or a week or even a month to kind of being really anxious, and then I get off track with everything. And also when I'm talking to people, I'm not as present because I'm so worried about other stuff. Like, think about it. If you're super anxious about some other part of your life, you're not gonna be able to approach a girl and have a good conversation. You're not gonna be able to have a good date. But if you're able to always catch yourself when you're about to lose your shit and just remind yourself, yo, it's not a big deal. Like, I'm gonna figure this out. It's all good. Yes, maybe you're a little off track for a few hours or a couple days, but you keep that boss energy. You keep that boss mentality. So y'all know we're on the hunt for a lot of land. Not a lot of land. Well, yeah, a lot of land, but a plot of land to build a new home on. We're in this neighborhood here. This is like a corner. They call this a pie-shaped lot. What are your initial thoughts?
The views are like insane. I know we won't probably have a lot of views from just like one level story, but second level, I feel like these views are just breathtaking.
One thing I don't love is it reminds me a little of our Houston neighborhood in the sense that the homes are like relatively close together. This is like, I think 0.4 acres here. Honestly, it does feel pretty big though. Like Julius said, it's tough to tell on the camera. There's definitely like hill views over there, even though if the pool's in the backyard, you wouldn't necessarily have views from the pool. So earlier I asked you, picture the most boring person you know. Kind of a boring thing to do, but picture him. What makes this person boring? Think about it. You know, I'd venture to say it's probably because nothing ever changes in his life and there's not that much going on. Every time you ask him, like, yo man, what's new? He's like, same old, same job, same living situation, same lack of hobbies. This is all the same thing, man. This for me was myself for a long time. And it's like, okay, if nothing's changing in your life, and if that's kind of like you right now, and there's never really an update to share with anyone, why is that? Think about that. Like, why do you think that is? Well, look, I can't diagnose your boringness. I'm not a boring doctor. But I know for me, it was that I just took no risks, right? I set myself on a path, and I stayed on that path because it was safe. I had a job that was safe. Why take a risk and try and change my job, man? Maybe I won't make as much money. Why take a risk and ask that girl out? She might reject me, and then that would be embarrassing. Why would I move from the city that I'm living in now? I might move somewhere and I might not like it. Fuck. That is why, that's why How to Beast was born, right? Because I was trying to document myself taking more risks and changing who I was. And I've basically gotten to the point, bro, whenever I'm facing any decision or any juncture in my life, it's like kind of the safe option, kind of the risky option. It's like, fuck it, let's do the risky option. I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, obviously you want to have like some idea, right? But it makes life more exciting, and you start to realize, like, if as long as you're taking calculated risks, it's nothing that you're not gonna get hurt, man. I approach a girl, she says no to me. Well, at least I know that she doesn't like me. I moved to a city that I haven't lived in yet. Well, I can always move back to the city I'm from. When I quit my job as a software engineer to become a personal trainer, I was like, well, worst case doesn't work out, I can always go back. Like, you gotta look in the mirror and ask yourself, why am I not taking these risks? Why is my life not changing? For me, it's because I was a fucking pussy who was coddling myself, and I didn't want to do anything that could make me even a little bit uncomfortable. The key is that you got to start small, man. You got to show your body, look, it's okay. We're not going to get hurt if we take a risk. If you're trying to talk to more girls, don't go ask them out and tell them how cute they are right away. Just be like, hey, excuse me, do you know what time it is? I don't have my phone on me. Do you know where the nearest Starbucks is? And just leave it at that. The more risk you take, the more you'll have to tell people about. There'll always be exciting shit happening in your life. And the benefit of that is not to tell other people. The benefit of that is, like, you're going to enjoy your life more, and you're going to be... Life is a fucking adventure, man. That's how I look at it. And I wish I always looked at it that way, because if not, if I had, I wouldn't have wasted the first, 23, 24 years of my life just being afraid. I hope that all of that made sense, bro. If you made it to the end of this video, what are you doing? Hit the thumbs up button. I appreciate you. It helps the channel out. If you're new to the channel, go ahead, click that subscribe button. Not that one, the one below the video. Click subscribe and turn notifications on, because I drop 2 videos every single week and you don't want to miss them. I will talk to all of y'all in the next video. Julia?
Stay.
No, I wasn't saying Julia for that. I don't know why I was saying Julia. This is really bright. Stay beastly.